So today's video is talking about something called a TVM Solver, time value of money. And basically what it is an application. Usually it's on a graphing calculator, but we obviously don't have those right now. So that's what it says here, but really we don't need that at all. We're going to use a website that is right here. So what I need you to do is open up that website right now. You can have it open in a new tab so you can follow along while we do the first example together, and then you can try the other couple of examples by yourself. So really, you've been doing all this work by hand for compound interest using our formulas, and this just does all the work for you. So it's like the quick way of solving it. Once you know all the information, you plug in your numbers, and it does all that calculating for you. No exponents on your calculator anymore. But we do need to know what all of these words mean, or these letters. So N is the total number of years. So if we look at our question here, we can fill it out as we go. Example 1 says, Samir invested $500 at 6% per year, compounded quarterly. What will the investment be worth after 3 years? N is the number of years, so we're going to find out that's 3 years there. So our N is going to be 3, which means that in this spot of our TVM solver, which you can see in that green box off to the right, that's what your screen will look like when you open up the link. You put in a 3 there. Then we look at I%, which is the interest rate per year. So you don't need to put it to a decimal, and you don't need to divide anything. That's just, it says 6% here, so you're going to put a 6 here and a 6 in the TVM solver. PV stands for present value, or the principal. So kind of like, it's what you're investing right away into your account. So we know that Samir is investing $500. So we put 500 in PV and 500 over there. PMT just means payments, but we're not talking about regular payments right now or at all, so you don't ever need to do it. You just need to make sure that it's 0, so we're good. FV is the future value, which is what you're trying to solve for, right? What's it going to be worth in 3 years? So we just leave it as a 0 for now. See how this is a 0 over there? We're just going to leave it because that's what we're going to solve for in the end. We don't know the future value. That's the whole point of doing these calculations. P/Y is also talking about regular payments. We are not dealing with that, so you just make sure that you leave it as 1, has a 1 there, so we're good. So PMT and PY you never touch. And C/Y is the number of compounding periods per year. So if we go up here, we see it says compounded quarterly. How many times a year is that? By now, hopefully we know that that means 4 times a year, which means you're going to put a 4 in here. So let's take a look. I'm going to switch my screen for a second so you can see here. If you have the TVM solver, we're going to plug in, you should click it and it'll do a little loading thing. And hopefully it's good. There we go. And now we can start typing stuff in. So your N should have said 3. Your I% should be 6. Your present value should be 500. Payment, we said 0. Future value, we're leaving it as 0 because that's what we're solving for. P/Y, we leave at 1. And C/Y, the compounding periods, quarterly is 4. So now that we have all of that in there, we want to solve for future value. So we're going to click on that right where it has a 0. We're going to click on solver for FE, and we get negative 597.81. Now that negative doesn't mean that you're losing money. It just means that if we put in $500, we get out 597.81. So it's just all about balancing. Something goes in and something goes out. So when you write down your answer, you do not include the negative, you just include the positive. So we know that for Samir, he put in $500, and after 3 years, it's now worth $597.81. So here, I will make an emphasis over here that you need to click that button once you're done filling in all your information. And in the end, it'll be worth $597.81, which is exactly what we wanted. Do not put the negative. And that's it. It's as easy as that. So if we take a look at the next example together, your job is to identify the things that they give you and then fill in the TVM solver, and you click on the button for what you don't know. So this one here, an investment will be worth $4,000 in 4 years. So that's telling you your future value. Tells you the number of years, tells you the interest rate %, compounded monthly. What is the present value? So it's asking you what's the present value, which means that this is the one that needs to be left as 0. And this is a button you should press in the end after you've filled out everything else. So keep going, try it out. They're all going to be asking you for a different thing in the end. It's not all going to be solving for a future value like example 1. Example 3 is a little bit different. Example 4 is a little bit different. So I would like you to try it and then check your answer on our calendar. See you on Friday.